So every Aussie Christmas chook needs to have some stuffing. In our house, the chook was always stuffed. And this is what the stuffing consisted of. We have got a good cup to a cup and a half of onion, a couple of good spoons full of butter. We've got a heaped teaspoon of chives, a heaped teaspoon of parsley, a good teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of mustard, a good half a teaspoon of mustard and half a teaspoon of salt. And also want a good heaped teaspoon or thereabouts, maybe a teaspoon and a half of mixed herbs. You want half a dozen slices of bread, any bread, it doesn't matter, whatever your favourite bread is, and some boiled water and a bowl. I'll get this set up and I'll be back with you. So this is pretty easy. Once you've measured out all your stuff, it's pretty much cutting up your bread. Now some people put it in a food processor and crumb it all up. This is the way that my nan used to do it, so this is the way that I do it. I just cut my bread into little soldiers. No mess, Charlie. No fuss, muss. And into little cubes. Too easy. It's Christmas time, we haven't got time to be stuffing around cleaning out mixers every 10 minutes. Plus, when my nan was doing Christmas every year, when she was a young lady, she didn't own mixers. She didn't own a mixer. She didn't have a food processor, because they weren't thought of in those days. Everything was done by hand. And it's the way I learnt to cook. I still to this day don't think that my nan has a food processor. Now it doesn't matter if your bread is a couple of days old. This is a good thing to do with stale bread, is to make stuffing. But this bread is actually fresh. And that's that. Reboil my jug. Okie dokie. So now that the water's boiled, it's just a matter of putting everything else in there. Put your onion. All your spices. And then your butter. I prefer to use butter than margarine, A, because I like butter and I don't want to eat black spread. And margarine has a higher salt content, and before it's yellow it's actually black, so that's too many preservatives for me. And then get your hand in there with your butter and just squish it all together. Now, there's some people that will do the same thing, like what they say to Jane all the time, that, oh, I'm doing it wrong, and that's not how you make stuffing, and this is not how you do it, and this is the way that my grandmother did it, or my nan. It's the way my mother does it. It's the way I was taught. So, this is the way I do it. Each to their own. If you like your own stuffing, go right ahead. Now, your water depends on your butter. You want it to stick together and be able to mould it, but you don't want it mushy. you have it mushy, it won't turn out right. So I'll probably put in about a tablespoon of water. And that's it, it's done. Now let's move on to the chook.